Welcome back. BJP is going in for a drastic change in Chhattisgarh for the Lok Sabha polls. Just months after losing the state to the Congress party, the BJP has now decided for a complete overhaul of its candidates, and they have decided not to repeat any of its losing 11 candidates. In fact, the BJP has also decided not to field for Lok Sabha any of those candidates who recently lost in the assembly polls. Chhattisgarh BJP leadership will be proposing a new list of members by tomorrow to the Election Commission, and those to be directly affected include senior leader and Raipur MP Ramesh Bais and former Chief Minister Raman Singh's son and Rajnandgaon MP Abhishek Singh. It still remains to be seen if the BJP will use the same formula for Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, where the party lost power, even though with a much narrower margin. Milan joins us for more on this. Milan, so this is coming in the wake of the party's recent drubbing in the assembly polls. Who are the new names and who will be the ones who will not feel?
Well, certainly, Avantika, this is another strategy that the BJP is currently using to have no incumbency factor when it comes down to the elections 2019 this time. And as you said, it has been decided in the CEC meeting that they will be fielding new candidates. Although the names of who these candidates will be is not known at this point of time, it is speculative in nature. However, we are going to see some prominent names, as you listed out, may not be given tickets. This is certainly after the drubbing that the BJP received in the state of Chhattisgarh. And on the 11 parliamentary constituencies now, Anil Jain had also spoken to the media and said that we are going to go ahead in these elections with new energy and a new vibe, and which is why we have decided not to give tickets to already sitting MPs in these constituencies. So another way to kind of cut out the incumbency, the anti-incumbency factor for the BJP, especially after the poll debacle that it faced in the state of Chhattisgarh.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us, Milan. In some other news, and in a big setback to the Maran brothers and the DMK ahead of the elections, the Madras High Court rejected a plea, in fact, by both the brothers, including Dayanidhi Maran, to quash charges framed against them by a trial court in the illegal telephone exchange case. The High Court has directed the special CBI court to complete the trial in 4 months. Brothers Dayanidhi and Kalanidhi are accused of setting up an illegal telephone exchange and indulging in alleged corruption. While Dayanidhi Maran is a DMK candidate for the upcoming Lok Sabha polls, his elder brother and media baron Kalanidhi is the owner of Sun Networks, which is also considered to be close to the DMK. The brothers are nephews of DMK chief M.K. Stalin. According to the CBI, Dayanidhi Maran misused his official position as the then Minister for Communications and Information Technology in the UPA regime. Maran allegedly installed private telephone exchanges for which bills were never paid. Akshay joins us for more on this. Akshay, just tell us a little bit more. This is a big setback for the DMK, especially with the elections round the corner.
Well, yes, Avantika, we're seeing that. Also, we have to note that Dayanidhi Maran is going to be one of those candidates for the upcoming Lok Sabha elections. And at this point of time, the Madras High Court has instructed the special court of the CBI to finish the trial of the BSNL case in the next 4 months time frame. And it is seen that the accusations are that Dayanidhi Maran, who was a former telecom minister, had misused his portfolio and had installed over 700 odd communication lines. And it's also alleged that bills to these phone lines were not being paid, which is to an amount of 1.78 crores. That's a huge amount, Avantika, and at this point of time, a case like this will not be good for the DMK, taking into account that they have been saying that they're fighting corruption and also trying to bring about a change in the society, Avantika.
Right, Akshay. Thanks so much for joining us. And with that, let's take a look at some other election-related stories. Alliance wars continue to plague the Congress in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. There's still no end to the present deadlock over the NC Congress seat-sharing talks. In fact, the Congress has now decided to rush in the party's troubleshooter Ghulam Nabi Azad and Ambika Soni for a new round of talks after the National Conference decided to field candidates for all the 6 Lok Sabha seats. BJP is all set to field former Mizoram Governor K. Rajashekaran to contest Congress MP Shashi Tharoor from Thiruvananthapuram. Rajashekaran quit as the Governor of Mizoram only 2 weeks ago. TMC MP and Mamta's close aide Kakoli Ghosh Dastedar called her own party MLA from Rajarghat a psychiatric patient. Kakoli hit out at the TMC MLA Sabyasachi Datta after reports that he's likely to join the BJP in the coming days and contest against her. TDP leader and former MP industrialist N. Nageshwar Rao has quit party in Telangana. Rao is likely to join TRS and contest from the Khammam parliamentary seat. Rao, who has assets worth over 112 crore rupees, lost the recently held assembly elections from Khammam, and his company is presently facing investigation for possible bank fraud. According to sources, BJP in Karnataka is likely to give tickets to all 16 sitting MPs. Former Union Minister Anand Kumar's wife, Tejaswini, is likely to get a ticket from Bengaluru South. The BJP earlier planned to pit actor Sumalata from the Mandya seat, but after she chose to contest as an independent, the BJP has decided to field its own candidate from the constituency. With the clear aim of trying to regain the Congress party's lost moorings in the state of Uttar Pradesh, Priyanka Gandhi has been on a 3-day Ganga Yatra and she's also been meeting a cross-section of people. Presently, she has reached Asi Ghat, and these are the live visuals that we are getting in. Priyanka Gandhi, who's been testing political waters in eastern Uttar Pradesh, has also been taking pot shots at the Modi government. She has accused the Modi government of not only betraying the people of the country, but also systematically destroying the institutions. She, in fact, has, in a no-holds-barred attack, hit out at the Prime Minister for not talking about what has been done by the BJP government in the last 5 years, rather than just complaining and pointing fingers at the Congress party. So there's Priyanka Gandhi. She is speaking to the party workers and she's just giving out some instructions there. She is at Asi Ghat. In fact, she has been meeting with a lot of people, students, inviting most of the people on the motorboat as well. All right, Maushmi, they're getting us this report. Let's listen in.
क्या प्रियंका कोई काट ढूंढ पाएंगी यहाँ पे बीजेपी के गढ़ में प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी के खिलाफ? कैमरा पर्सन प्रदीप गुप्ता के साथ मौसमी सिंह, वाराणसी, आज तक.
I'll try and get Maushmi in just a bit. We'll just get a quick update from Maushmi, and there you see Priyanka Gandhi, very, very easy in her interactions, exuding a lot of charm and posing for pictures on that steamer boat. She has been using this opportunity to reach out to people. She has been urging people during the course of her interactions to think before they cast their vote. She started her river journey with a visit to the Sangam, where she first performed a puja. She has been visiting a lot of temples as well, and has also been speaking to a lot of people. All right, I think Maushmi is speaking. Let's listen in.
A supporter giving her a bouquet. She stopped for a photograph but didn't take that bouquet. And here you can see the water. Just look at the water. It is actually dipping here. Priyanka jumps, hops onto another boat and then to another boat to send a strong message that though she is a woman, she is not less than anybody. She's shown a lot of stamina and strength, a lot of chaos here and chaotic situation here. But here Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, in her own way, trying to connect to the people of Varanasi and send a message that she is here to stay. With video journalist Pradeep Gupta, this is Maushmi Singh in Varanasi for India Today.
Okay, so Priyanka Gandhi has been assigned the task of leading the campaign in a region where the organization, the Congress organization, is quite thin on the ground. She's speaking right now. Let's listen in to what she said earlier.
I think the Prime Minister should stop thinking that people are fools and understand that they see through all this.
That is what Priyanka Gandhi had to say before she left for Asighat. She hit out at the Prime Minister on his blog, saying that it's the BJP to blame for systematically destroying institutions. Now, shifting focus to some other news coming in from the state of Karnataka. The death toll in the Dharwad building collapse has gone up to 4. Rescue workers are racing against time. A total of 56 people who have been trapped under debris have been successfully rescued. But NDRF is continuing with the rescue efforts that is going on a war footing. We're showing you the visuals of the under construction building that came crashing down that resulted in the death of 4 people. This under construction building collapsed on Tuesday evening in Dharwad, which is just about 400 kilometers north of Bengaluru. In fact, what we're hearing is that the NDRF is even using specialized machinery, special cranes to rescue the people who still remain trapped under the debris of this under construction building.
So, according to you, what are the officials telling you that led to this particular incident?
No, I have yesterday only I have spoken. They are also fully not aware. First priority is for the rescue operation.
Absolutely.
That's why I have not insisted much to get the information.
Okay.
First, let them involve and let them do the rescue operation. But as per the preliminary information available, lot of violation, safety measures were not taken, and whatever the permissible limit was there, more than 2-3 times building was constructed, and even there is a allegation of encroachment. All these things has to be investigated, and concerned people should be booked, and then only the people will not do the same mistake in future.
So we've seen many such, like you mentioned, many such violations, not just in Dharwad, we see in Bangalore, we see across the state. You think somewhere the local officials are hand in gloves with these engineers and the contractors, allowing them to flout the rules?
100% this is happening, especially in Hubli Dharwad, where I permanently am staying from last more than 30-40 years. The building violation, building code of conduct as far as the building is concerned, norms is concerned, violation has become very common. And in this, both officers and the concerned owner of the building, they are in hand in glove, and definitely they are, because of their involvement only, these things are happening.
Inquiry will be ordered with experts in that, with regard whether the approvals were right, whether the structural designs were right, what is the cause of this accident, and after that, I think I will be able to tell you what is the reason. They will be given treatment free of cost, and they will be taken care. Only one patient, I am told, is in ICU. So relief rescue operations are going on now. 3 teams are here.
Joining us now is India Today's Nolan Pinto. Nolan, we are seeing the rescue workers carrying about their work on a war footing. Understandably, the primary focus will be now on the safe rescue. But what happened? Just how many people were there at the site when this under construction building came crashing down?
Well, Avantika, the first priority as of now, this is what most of the people tell us, is about rescuing the people. 56 is the number we have heard that have been rescued. 4 people have lost their lives. Let me just show you what's exactly happening over there. NDRF personnel, SDRF personnel, all working together, trying their best to try and rescue those fear trapped. In fact, between 15 to 20 is the numbers that we are told are trapped inside. Reasons? Well, it could be any. Substandard materials, this is what we are told. Lack of actually following the rules and regulations. But Avantika, I need to mention what really happened. Like they say, heroes always not wear capes. In fact, Mr. Baswaraj Jadhav over here, single-handedly, along with an SDRF personnel, managed to rescue 17 people who were trapped last night. His experience, it's very interesting when he spoke to me. I'm just going to ask him very quickly to tell us how he managed to do this. Baswaraj Jadhav, ನೀವು ಹೇಗೆ rescue ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಈ ಜನರು?
मेरे को इतना मालूम था, मैं अंदर रहे सब लोगों को जरा हेल्प करना, ऊपर लेकर आना, जिंदा लेकर आने का मेरा मकसद था। इसलिए मैं क्या किया, उधर एक खिंडीकर को सब लोग, मैं उसमें पहला पुलिस लोगों को उतरने के लिए बोला, नहीं उतरे उन्होंने। मैं पूरा जंप करके सीधा अंदर गया। बाद में मैं एक महिला लेडीज़ के लिए बचाने के लिए गया था। अंदर जाने के बाद मालूम हुआ मुझे को 15 लोग उधर अंदर सपड़े सोए। मैं अड़ाया, कौन है, कहाँ है कर बोलने, उन्होंने भी चिल्लाए। चिल्लाने के बाद मैं इधर आया कर बोलने के बाद मैं उनको छोड़ा। एक लेडीज को बहुत बुरी हालत में थे, लेकिन वो जल्दी नहीं आ सकते थे। जल्दी आने वाले को पहला जल्दी भेजना है कर को पूरा अंदर गया। अंदर जाने के बाद वो तीन लोग थे नीचे, उनको सब पत्थर की तरह हटा को मैं उनको 3 लोगों को पहला भेजा। भेजने के बाद ऊपर लोग पुलिस वालों को भेजा, जरा पहला पानी दे वो सबको। उनको पानी देने के बाद सब लोग उन्होंने क्या बोले, पहला मुझे निकालो इधर से, निकालो निकालो, चिल्ला रहे थे। पाप वो एक का पाँव टूटा है, एक ये सब टूटा है। मुझे जरा ये आग में पानी आ गया।
So ನೀವೀಗ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ಭಯ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ? Did you get scared because you didn't have any safety equipment? The building could collapse any moment. Why did you still go?
मेरे को भी जरा क्या हुआ था, इतना धैर्य आ गया। मैं एक आदमी 10-15 लोगों को बचाता हूँ हैकर को बोले तो मेरा एक जान दे हैकर को मैं जंप किया हूँ।
Avantika, so this is the situation as of now. Very, very brave thing what he has actually done. Thanks to him and another individual, 17 people were rescued. So as of now, that is exactly what's happening. You can just see the smoke emanating from there. They're trying to remove that particular part because they believe that 4 people are trapped. They tell us that they can actually hear them, and they're trying to go about with their work as safely as possible to rescue them as fast as possible again.
Right, Nolan. An absolutely tragic incident to have taken place. I'm going to keep coming back to you for the latest updates. For now, thanks so much.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.